always the best part, when you get your friends together giggling. Well, Leanne and Mark and Robert and I broke our quarantine last night. Yep, we broke it, and we had dinner together, and the boys played chess, and they played ping pong, and Leanne and I laughed our heads off all night long, till about 10:30 last night, and then coming home, when we were driving down the little gravel road that's Leanne's driveway goes to, and it's gravel for about a mile, we got behind a bear, a 500-pound bear running in front of our car. A 500-pound, and I have video of it. So, folks, yep. The bears are out. They're migrating, and we're excited. So I have questions. We're just going to get right to it. I don't know where everybody is this morning, but they're not getting in here fast enough to suit me. But let me get our show started. Let me turn everything off. Yeah, everything's off. So anyway, first question. Get on in here, folks. We're starting without you. And I got my wall redone this morning. I don't really like the one in the corner, so I think I'm going to take that one down. But I got my rose up on this side. I love my rose. I took a picture. That's my rose. I took a picture of it. And I got my sister Patty and I one of those framed ones like that. And I have a cup that has the rose on it. You can order this stuff online, and had it put on canvas so it's not going to glare. We're not going to have a glare. So everybody's in here. Let's get started. If I separate the weekly home blessing task for each day of the week, what would the focus of Monday? I don't have my iPad in here. Monday is mopping, I think. Monday's mopping. Yeah, we do floors a couple of times. So Monday's mop. But, you know, it doesn't matter. Just pick something. Just pick something. Don't let your perfectionism get in the way of doing something. Now, on Monday, we do a 2-minute weekly home blessing, 2-minute challenges, and we get it done. Go back and find any video that I've done in the last 2 months, and we've done a weekly home blessing. We really have. Okay. Next question. My purse never has any stuff. I don't have a car. What could I do besides having a date? Well, I would rest. I would drink a cup of tea and say, I don't have anything to do today. I don't have any, this is my focus. Now you could do something else. If Friday your purse doesn't have stuff in it or whatever, then turn it into a gardening day. Change your basic weekly plan into getting out in the garden and deadheading flowers or anything like that. Plant something. Yeah, we do have a weekly home blessing PDF that you can download in our, somebody can put a link in here for the picture that I made that goes on your wall for the focus of the week, focus of the day, when you divide your weekly home blessing in 2 days. Now, going back to the next question, pick something else. If you don't have a purse, but you might have a briefcase, clean your briefcase out. You might have a diaper bag, clean your diaper bag out. If you don't have a car, then that's one less thing you have to fill up with gas. So set aside Friday to be someday, a day that you're going to do something, and figure out what that is. Maybe it's going to be a fun thing like working on a scrapbook or crocheting or sewing. A lot of people are taking up sewing right now. They're making masks like crazy. They're making masks, and they're using microfiber cloths to do it. And there are people who said it needs to be a polyester fabric, because polyester is knitted and not so much woven. It's knitted, like a sock is knitted. So set up something that you like to do on that day, or something that needs to be done on that day. When are you going to launch your Android apps? We haven't even started on it, folks, because it's just been, it's not many people buy the app anyway, and it's not a focus for us right now. I apologize for those who have Android phones, but if you really want the app, next time you may need to think about you can get a cheap iPhone for, I think, about $100 if you want a phone. So think about changing to an iPhone, because we only have one technical person working for us. The rest of us are doing everything else, and Michael's keeping our website safe and all this wonderful stuff, and he is only one person, and he has to keep everything updated. It's a long thing that he has to do. He's walked me through it, and I know he's working hard. So if you want to play with the app, but you can use your Android phone and set up your own little reminders. And that's the main thing, is getting on board with us. Okay, what are your thoughts on keeping spices on the stove, along with spoon rest, etc.? I think you're getting too picky. Use the thing. I have mine in a drawer right beside my stove, so that all I have to do is reach in and grab things. Leanne has her avocado oil right beside her stove, and she puts out a spoon rest when she's cooking. And yeah, I do that too, but I do have 2 spoon rests that are fish that are on either side of my stove, so that they're always there. They're cast iron, and I just have to throw them in the dishwasher. They don't really like the dishwasher. I have to re-oil them up. But you don't want to keep spices too close to your stove, because it will heat up. Yeah, see? And when you use spices, you need to crumble them. You need to break them apart. And we have a little mortar and a pestle. I mean, a little tiny thing that Robert uses when he's doing spices, because he wants all that good stuff. And Leanne has a drawer for spices to the left of her stove, and that's where mine are. So we kind of do things the same way. We didn't learn from each other, but it's just common sense for us. And at Ben's house, I got him some magnetic. He has a really small kitchen. I got him some magnetic spices that go on the side of his refrigerator. And he loves those. He really does like those. But they're not, there's a little counter between the stove and the refrigerator. And then they're up on the refrigerator with magnetic holders. How do you store your used washcloths and sponges in the kitchen? Well, Leanne at her house, because we were at her house last night, and I was in charge of cleanup. We both are. When the guys are playing chess, we're cleaning up the kitchen to get that done. She has a little front drawer on her sink that just tilts out about this much. It tilts out about this much. Her sink stopper can go in there, and she puts her sponges in there. And it gets plenty of ventilation, and it dries. If you don't have that, I don't have that on my sink. So under my sink, I have a little crock. It's something I got at a pottery shop. And that holds my scrub brush and my sponge, so that it will dry out. And I just put it in there, squeeze it out real good, and let it dry. Now, the washcloth, I lay over the center of the sink to dry. And then when it's dirty, I put it under the sink until it's time to do a load of purple rags. Yeah, purple, silver rags, mop cloths, the whole works. What are your thoughts on drying off each item in the shower when you've finished and storing it out of the way. That's a pain. You know, when you get in the shower, you're never going to remember to get it out of wherever you've put it. You know, the showers, if you leave your shower curtain open, the inside will dry out. And then you may have to close the shower curtain so the back of the shower curtain will dry. So leave it open for a couple hours. If you have a little fan in your bathroom, either a vent fan or one of these little tiny fans you can plug in across the room, not close to the tub at all, but just get some air circulating in there. Just get some air going, and you're going to be surprised at how mold doesn't grow in a bathroom that has air circulating in it. But I wouldn't go to all that trouble to dry everything off. If you just, the water's going to sheet down, and while you're in the shower, you can scrub one portion of your shower with a pink rag or a purple rag and just get the soap film off, and you're going to have a clean shower all the time. All the time. Okay. But I don't want you to make it hard on yourself to get in the shower and take a bath, you know? Next question. Y'all have got some good questions this week. Really? What do you do with the bathroom washcloths you use to dry your hands with? Do you have a basket for them to put them in until you wash them? Yes, I do. And my bathroom has Bible verses on my shower curtain. Just beautiful Bible verses. Liz gave it to me for my birthday one year. And I love this shower. She gave me another one. I hadn't put it up yet because I love this one so much. It's light and airy, and it looks like the outdoors because there's ferns and branches and all kinds of stuff on it. So it's got Bible verses, but I also have a fish motif going on in my bathroom. So I have little fish dishes that I put coins in that I keep up with my water drinking during the day, and to pray for people because they're holy medals. I have 2 medals that are from Kathy Scroy's family, and they are very special to me. They have been blessed, and so I have those 2 medals. I have a couple more, and I'm trying to drink about 10 cups of water in my bathroom during the day. And if you get the pump primed, you're going in your bathroom every hour, and I'm getting this water every time. So I've got these little fish motifs. So I've got this fishing thing going on with fish, and then I have this creel. And if you don't know what a creel is, it's a fish basket. So I keep my white washcloths in a thing I got from Avon, probably 20-something years ago. I think it was from Avon. But it was a fish basket that would hold a wine bottle or something. It was like one of these things you would put a wine bottle in, and I don't know how you'd get it in there. But I take my washcloths, or my pink cloths, and I just roll them up in I just make a little cylinder out of them, and I put them in my fish holder like this. And when I use them to dry my hands, which I do every day, several times during the day, I lay it on top of my creel and let it dry overnight. And then in the morning, it goes in my little creel hamper, little fish basket hamper. Yeah, and it's one of those creels that a fisherman would wear. But I put it on my wall as a hamper. That's where I put my pink rags and my white washcloths. How do you keep a house clean with a retired farmer? Every hour he's needing help with something that will only take a minute and ends up taking the whole day. Be thankful he needs your help. Don't be whining about it. Right now, it's more important to be with him than to be stuck in the house cleaning. Now, if you get up and do your morning routine and get dressed and lace up shoes, your house is practically going to clean itself. You just have to let go of this perfectionism that makes you want to get back in the house to get stuff done. If your husband asks for help on a project, he just wants you to be with him and be there. And maybe it's a scare. Yesterday afternoon, I got off my tea time show, and I hadn't heard from Robert in a couple hours. And he's out in the woods he's building a rock wall, y'all. He has uncovered a bunch of rocks, and he is building a rock wall around this pile of dirt that he's going to level out. And I said, where are you? Are you okay? And he sent me a picture, and he said, I said, you're going to be sore, because he'd done about this high of a rock wall, just a flat stone wall, just laid, dry stacked. So yeah, he came in and took an Advil because he knew he was going to be sore. But enjoy doing things. But get up and do your morning routine, get something in the crock pot for dinner, and then it doesn't matter if you're out a half a day with your husband working on the farm. Yeah. It's be thankful that he wants you around. So enjoy the time together. How do you begin to pull your life together after a long battle of depression and health problems? I am physically able to do things. However, I can't go for hours, but I feel completely wiped out emotionally. I know it's time to stop sitting around all day, but it's hard to break the pattern. You need to set your timer or set an alarm on your phone. Every phone has alarms. I have alarms going off all during the day to not miss the shows I want to see, to get up and get a drink of water, go to the bathroom. I have one at the top of every hour. And do it right now while you're watching me. You can go and do this for yourself. Set an alarm that's going to remind you to get up. Sometimes I have a timer going all day long, and I set it for 15 minutes, and every 15 minutes I get up when it goes off, and I get up and do a minute's worth of something, whether it's shining my sink or wiping down the window or going outside and planting something. It really helps you to have a system going. I play this 15-minute game all day long, and you wouldn't believe how much stuff I can get done, because every 15 minutes I'm doing a minute somewhere or 2 minutes. So by the end of an hour, I've gotten up 4 times. My house is looking good, and you can start your day out with a little list of things you want to get done that day. And some of the things you need to do is go sit in a sunbeam. Sunbeams are healing. It's vitamin D. And if you're recovering from depression and health problems, well, which came first, the health problems or the depression? You just don't know. But if you get out in a sunbeam, it's going to help you emotionally. And have tea with us at 3 o'clock. Leanne and I were talking about this last night. We're getting testimonials like crazy about our Wise Women's Tea. Our tea that has decreased their blood pressure. Their doctor has taken them off their blood pressure medicine. And Leanne and I are just kind of blown away, because this tea we consider it medicinal, but the time you spend sitting and having a cup of tea with us at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, that could be what is curing you. Not so much the cup of tea as it is the time you're with us. So please take time to sit and enjoy a few minutes in a sunbeam, even if it's just 15 minutes. So Bruce says, sunbeams are hugs from God. I love that. I absolutely adore that. So get outside and get a hug. And so is a cup of tea. It's a great hug. And at Fly Lady, we don't expect you to do hours and hours of tea, of cleaning. Somebody's wanting to know what's in our tea. It's Earl Grey, it's black tea, it's green tea. We have 3 teas in a mixture of 1 bag. So folks, get outside. I'm not saying my cup of tea will cure blood pressure. No, that's not what we're saying at all. But we're saying the act of having a cup of tea and sitting down with us to calm yourself and to deep breathe and to get in a sunbeam. All of these things work to make your health better, to get rid of the body clutter that's in your head. So try it. You might be surprised at how calm you get just by having a cup of tea. Okay. But we don't expect you to clean for hours. That's not it at all. Just get up and do 2 minutes worth. Set your timer for 15 minutes. Get up and do 2 minutes worth. Next question. And I've got 3 questions here together. So, I need assistance with control journals. It's not working for me. Any tips? You know why it's not working for you? I'll guarantee you. It's because you're making it too hard. A control journal is just a place to put your routines. And they can be as simple as a Post-it note on your bathroom mirror. I took a photo album somebody gave me once upon a time and turned it into a simple control journal with a 4x6 note card. That's it. 4x6 note card. Turned it into morning routines, afternoon routines, evening routines. Bam. Even a basic weekly plan for the business. All in a little photo album. But if you don't open it up, what's it matter? Put Post-it notes on your bathroom mirror. When we remodeled this house 20 years ago, we redid both of our bathrooms. We couldn't remodel my bathroom until we had built Robert a bathroom. So that was the first thing we had to do. We built him a shower and took a closet and turned it into a shower and a bookcase. And so that became our main bathroom for 6 months, pretty much. And we lived through this remodel. Liz is living through one right now, a remodel. And remodels are tough. But I started Fly Lady, and I put Post-it notes on this bathroom mirror. And Justin said, Mom, and Justin was doing the remodel with his boss. And he said, what are all these Post-it notes? And I said, well, they're keeping me on track. They're reminders. I had morning routine on one side and before bed routine on the other. And it really just transformed my life. I wouldn't be here and be Fly Lady for you if it hadn't been for those Post-it notes. So having the Post-it notes on the bathroom mirror, plus I also had something called a Palm Pilot, but we've all got smartphones now. And what I did was I set up little reminders on my Palm Pilot to tell me what to do all during the day. Because I walk away from my bathroom and I forget about it. And then I built me a control journal. And the original one's right over, well, one of the original ones. That's like the third, because I let my perfectionism go crazy. So don't worry about the control journal. It's just a place to write down your routines. And actually, it's a good way to show family members. Say you got sick and you needed somebody to come into your house to take care of your family, or your husband was going to help you and he didn't know what to do. Well, if you've got a control journal and you've got it written out, that gives them it gives them a way to know what you do every day. So try it. Now, next question. If I'm starting in chaos, should I still start with zone 2? I don't know what that means, because we always start with our kitchen sink. It doesn't matter where we are in our zones. We always go shine our sink, and we get dressed to lace up shoes. And this way, it's much better, much better. You need something to give you hope, and that sink shining does that. Okay. Should I still start with... And just jump into the zone we're in. This week we're in zone 2. We're ending up. Tomorrow's the last day of zone 2. And we're going to, when your kitchen is clean, you don't mind getting in there and cooking dinner. Next question. Just jump in where we are is the main thing. Do you know the best way to clean wood faux wide mini blinds? They have not been cleaned in a long time. Well, the first thing I would do was I would knock all the dirt off of them. And I would do it with a rubber scrubber, close them so they're totally closed, and I would wipe them with a rubber scrubber. Next, you could take your multi-wand and you can get it damp, but you got to get the dirt off first and wipe it down with this. So you would close them all the way with all the shades going down, and then you would flip them the other way and have them all go up and do the same thing. Yep. And then after you get them clean, you can use your feather duster every 2 or 3 days and dust them. Just like that. Let's see. Now, I've known people that have taken them down and put them in a tub full of water, and that's just too much trouble. It's just too much trouble, folks. But wiping them down, you could take a purple rag and wipe them down easily, but you just got to do it. Set your timer for 5 minutes and just do 5 minutes worth. But you got to get the dirt knocked off of them first, or you're going to make mud pies. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You've done it. I know you've done it. I know you've done it. Is there one main Fly Lady group? I'm a beginner and I'm seeing so many divisions. I need some direction. I want to join a group, not a dozen. Can you help me? Well, there are dozens of them because people love us. People love me. And we have Fly Lady mentors who each one of the mentors has their own little group. But the main thing is join the Fly Lady on Facebook. That's our main group. It's our main group. And sometimes people want to splinter off and do their own little bingo games. And Fly Lady bingo, it's like rolling the dice, pulling a number out of a hat. They play games during the day and get things done. The smaller the group, the more intimate you can be. You can get to know each other. We have 659,000 people on our Facebook page. Yeah, we do. And that doesn't make for much intimacy, let me tell you. But it's okay if you want to separate out with some friends and make your own little private group. That's fine. That's fine. And Fly Lady Premium has all these, it's a paid, it's not mine. I don't get any money from it, but my nephew built this when he was in college. Yeah, Alexander's an amazing kid. It's Patty's son. And he built he was raised with Fly Lady. Hey, Donna. He was raised with Fly Lady. He understood how it worked. And all of a sudden, this young man built the Fly Lady Premium to sort of give you somebody, a one-on-one person, So they have their own little groups, but you have to be a part of their mentoring stuff. Conda is a mentor with Fly Lady Premium. So join us on the Fly Lady page, and if you just watch our videos in the morning and in the afternoon, you're gonna do well. You're really, and yeah, Diane used to be a mentor too. Diane used to be a mentor, and she understands the system. But I think Diane is born organized. She's not quite like me. I've been there. I've lived it. I've lived it. I know what's underneath your kitchen sink. I know what's hiding in your closets. The other day I sent out something about the bag ladies. And she said, how do you know I have garbage bags in my closet with papers in them? Because I know you. I know you. I know me. But I don't think Diane's ever been there. I don't really think Diane's has ever had bags in her closet. Because I do believe she's born organized. Let's see. If I use fabric softener on my purple rags, how long should I let them soak in vinegar? Overnight. And then wash them. It's going to be okay. And the more you use them, the more the stuff is going to get out. I would wash dishes with them for a couple of days. You know, it's going to be fine. No perfect way. No perfect way. You got to let go of your perfectionism. I put 1/2 water and 1/2 bubble bath in my toilet brush holder. In 45 years of housekeeping, I've never had a smell from them. But now they both have turned moldy and smell like urine. Yuck. I would pour it all out. Just flush it down the toilet. I love the idea of cleaning my toilet with soap every day, but why does it turn my brush moldy? Because the solution isn't strong enough. I would get rid of that. It's got mold growing. I would rinse it all, wash it out really well, maybe not have anything else in your dishwasher and run it through your dishwasher, because the mold, all it needs is one little spore and it will start over again. So I would just get me a new thing to put the stuff in, or better yet, take a Dawn dishwashing bottle and take half Dawn and half water and put it up on the back of your toilet and squirt it in there. And then just let your toilet bowl brush rest in the container and let it dry between swish and swipes. There's no right way to do it. But if it's stinking, get rid of it. Get rid of it. Now, if you have little boys, they may have peed in the thing because it was a container and they could do it and they could reach it. So I cleaned out from behind my toilet yesterday with my multi-wand. Yeah, I got it wet and soapy and scrubbed the floor and got in behind everything, and it was great. Can your manufacturer make the pink rags in a color that works for a man? My hubby would like to use them for his glasses and to take to work for cleaning his computer screen, etc. Well, you can tell a real man will use pink. You see men with pink ties on. It's a tool. No, we're not going to make another color for these. We had fly babies who took a purple rag. Men don't like purple either. So they took a purple rag. I have a funny story to tell you. Many years ago, when I turned 50, that's been 14 years ago, I decided I wanted a sports car. And I decided I wanted a little Mercedes. That's what I wanted. And we went car shopping. This was in September. We went car shopping, and I was turning 50 in January. And we went car shopping, and I had a budget. I had a limited budget. I was only going to spend $20,000 on a car. That's it. I wasn't going to work. Wasn't going to do anything else. And we found this used little two-seater. Well, what a two-seater. It was a C-class of some kind. And this car was on the used car lot, and it was $19,000. And it was a fairly recent model. And I test drove it. Well, I test drove a Crossfire, which I didn't like, and it was no good color. But when I got back from the test drive, Robert said, come look at this one. And they let me drive it. Well, it was kind of sluggish changing gears. You know, it's an automatic, and it was just kind of sluggish. But Robert said, I think this would be a good car for you. So we bought the car. Come to find out, the winter shifting was on, and nobody knew it. Robert read the book and figured it out. So the winter shifting mode was on. Well, I love this car. I absolutely adored this car. It was silver, and we had a fly fest. We were going to have a huge fly fest in Baltimore, Maryland, and we were introducing our body clutter book to the world. And Leanne was there. I mean, we had the whole crew there. Kathy planned it all. And it was just a fun time was had by all. Well, I knew Robert didn't want to drive. I had a Subaru at the time. That's why I wanted a new car. Because in October, we were going to be going to Baltimore. And we were going to drive to Baltimore, to the Inner Harbor. This was in 2005. It was a silver car. And that silver car got wrecked. Not in Baltimore, but it got wrecked, parked at an airport one time. Got wrecked. A little old lady, I say that respectfully because I'm going to be a little old lady one day, came around a corner of the parking lot, and instead of hitting the brake, she hit the gas. And she took out 6 vehicles, 5 of which were somebody else's. And my car got hit, that little tiny car that I loved, got hit by a Ram, a brand new Ram. You can't make this stuff up. Ram pickup. And I'm in Salt Lake City. And I get a phone call from Robert, and he said, honey, I got some good news and bad news. And I said, well, what's the good news? And he said, well, the good news is at the airport, they knew who you were. Because they knew Fly Lady was my wife. And I said, well, what's the bad news? He said, the bad news is the front end of your car has been destroyed. So he had to get the car back home. He went to the airport and got it because he had a key. And insurance took care of it. But to get the insurance, you know, got us a check. And the whole front end of the car was going to have to be repainted anyway. It was going to have to be repainted silver. And I said, honey, and our attorney at the time for Fly Lady, I kept telling him, you know, I'd kind of like to have a purple car. I think I want to get my car painted purple. Well, when half the car needed to be painted, I said, well, let's paint it purple. So I let Robert pick out the color. And Robert picked out Prowler Purple, Prowler Purple, which is a muscle car color. And it was the most beautiful car ever. And it didn't cost much more money to get the whole thing painted that color. And it was beautiful. And so I had a purple car for a little while that had a Fly Lady tag on it. But men don't usually like hot pink. I understand that. But if it's just going to be in his desk, he can't miss it. He can always find it. If it were a bland color, you wouldn't be able to find it. So I don't like bland colors. I like poppy colors. So I mean pop, as in your lip gloss is popping color. Okay. Do you have a good recipe for creamy vegetable soup? I was given about 20 pounds of vegetables this afternoon. Well, I wouldn't put them all in soup. That would be such a waste. But you can turn any soup creamy this way. And it doesn't take much. And Leanne did this the other day. She did this the other day. She made a soup and then she put about a 1/4 cup of heavy cream in the soup and it turned it creamy. I have used cream cheese into the soup to make it creamy. You can do lots of things, but you can make this soup and don't put the milk product in it yet. You can make this soup, bag it up or can it up and freeze it or can it. And then you have this soup base to make your vegetable soup in. But don't put the cream in it when you're putting it in the freezer. I have hair on my eyeball. But 20 pounds of vegetables, I can't imagine what they would be. But yep, Leanne has a great recipe for soup. Sour cream works too, yep. Sour cream, cream cheese, cream, all of it will make a creamy soup. Can I use a large mop to do the ceilings? Well, if I have popcorn ceilings in this room and our bedroom. We did not redo those because we really didn't redo either one of these rooms much except put floor down when we remodeled in 2000. I still have popcorn ceilings. So you can't use a mop on popcorn ceilings. So I'd be very careful. I would test inside a closet or something. But the large mop is an amazing tool. And you can get a lot of things done. But taking off a popcorn ceiling, I don't know how you do that. People like to wet it down, but you need a mask on, and now masks, N95 masks are hard to come by. So I wouldn't think about doing it right now. But you could clean your ceilings with the mop because it's microfiber. Or you could take the silver rags or an older purple rag that has all the dye taken out of it and put it on the mop handle and use that too. But be careful. If you've got a popcorn ceiling, you can't do that. And if you've got a brand new purple rag, you can't do that because you're going to turn your ceiling purple. So don't. Next. How were you able to finally be kind to yourself? I'm doing my routine smashingly. I have started zone cleaning. I do weekly home blessing hour, but my brain keeps telling me I have done nothing and I'm being lazy. I know it's a lot of it, and it's words I've heard my whole life, and you said you made a resolution to be kind to yourself and then did it. How? Well, when you hear yourself say those words with the I am in front of it and the L word, you have to say, shut up, delete. I am strong. I am prepared. Change the words around and be kind to yourself by recognizing who said those words. So take those words, put them in a pie pan, take them outside and set them on fire. Or put them in your fire pit and burn them. Put them in your fireplace and burn them. Do it safely, though. And don't allow those words to do that to you. Don't do it. But I kept hearing the L word too. And I'm not even going to say it here. Not even going to, other than read it in this question. I kept hearing that too. And I realized that I was my own worst enemy. I had to be kind to me because being kind to me is what helped me to get organized. I made 2 resolutions in January of 1999, and that was to get organized, whatever the heck that is, and to be kind to me, because I realized that every time I didn't do the Pam and Peggy cards, I would beat myself up. And then I'd hide them under the sink so I couldn't be reminded to beat myself up, which was a blessing in disguise. So when you hear yourself say it, turn it around, say something good, and eventually you're going to not want to do that anymore. Try it. Are there any magic tricks for removing a light bulb base when the glass part blew off? I have had this happen 4 or more times. Do you know any tricks after trying not to get shocked? Well, first, you got to either unplug the lamp or you have to flip the breaker. And make sure where it's plugged in, plug another lamp in there to make sure you flipped it off. But if it's something you plug in, unplug it. And then here's the tip, and I learned this many years ago. You take a potato and you cut it in half, and you push it down on the light, and then you turn it. Yep, Rebecca knows. Yep. Now, Robert has taken needle nose pliers and done it for me. But the problem is it gets an oxidation on the inside. And if you'll take a little, maybe a little coconut oil, or just a smidge, and just rub around the light bulb when you put the new light bulb in, it won't seize up like that and bust. But if you've busted 4 of them, something could be wrong with either your electrical plug-in or the light bulbs you've purchased. There could be some bad bulbs. How do you get motivated and stay that way? By watching our shows. By watching our 11 o'clock show and our 3 o'clock show, and maybe watching our YouTube videos, reading the books, reading Sync Reflections, The Chaos Cure. You got to get us in your head. Because if you get us in your head, you're going to push out the negativity. You got to replace the bad with something good. And that's going to change your whole attitude. And I can't motivate you. Only you can motivate you. Only you can motivate you. But you got to fill your head with good stuff. I always get distracted if I'm cleaning one room and I take something into another room to see something in there that needs to be done. Suggestions. Okay, this is good. I learned this from Pam and Peggy. When you go through a doorway, stop. Stop. And look at your hands. Look at your hands. What do you have in your hands? The other day, I walked into the living room, left my bathroom, didn't check my hands, and guess what I found in my hand? My hairbrush from my bathroom. This one's from my table because I keep it here because I might have to doll up before I do a show. So, so check your hands before you leave a room. Got it? And that's going to keep you from taking things. Now, when you can do the reverse, though, you can do a reverse scavenger hunt. So you're going to put on a different set of eyeballs. Yeah, we can do that. We're creative people. We can do this. So go stand up in the middle of your living room, put on different set of eyeglasses, eyeballs, whatever. Maybe you want to put on a hat. And we're going to change our whole attitude. And we're going to look in this room as if we were looking for something that didn't belong there. And you grab it. And you take it to the room it belongs in. And then when you're in that room, do that find something in that room that needs to go to another room. And you can do this for 15 minutes and you'd be surprised at how much stuff you can get put away. You can do it. And it is fun. It's called a reverse scavenger hunt. Okay, last question. Can you believe it? Let's see where we are. Yep, it's almost noon. Do you have an oven cleaner recipe for stubborn stains? Yeah, I do. It's called a purple rag. This thing will grab stuff like you wouldn't believe. But let me tell you about your oven. I learned this just last week. When I was doing all that bread baking, some of the people said to turn your oven into a proofing box. Now, I had cooked some sweet potatoes in the oven, and they, sweet potatoes will explode. And I had the biggest mess in my oven. Well, I put my roasting pan on the bottom shelf of my oven and filled it up with boiling water. And I closed the door. And you know what happened? I was getting ready to put a bowl of dough in there to rise up. And I realized that the steam from the boiling water had sort of softened everything. It was amazing. All I had to do was take my wet purple rag and wipe things down, and everything came off. And I've got a video on how to clean your oven. Now, I did do a Google search. No, a DuckDuckGo search. I don't use Google. I did do a DuckDuckGo search, and I found not a recipe, but they shook baking soda into their oven, at the bottom of their oven, and then sprayed it with water and let it sit overnight. Now, if you let it sit overnight with a pan of boiling water in there, be careful pouring the boiling water in there. If you have a tea kettle, that's great because you've got a lid on it. But you might have to do it a cup at a time, and just be careful. And just let it steam up inside. You can do the same thing in your microwave. And it'll just loosen everything up. Now, I don't recommend taking a cup of water and boiling water in your microwave. I don't think that it can go and get all over everything. So don't do that. But, put it in your tea kettle and then set the cup of hot boiling water in your microwave and just let it sit there. And you will have a wonderful, you just wipe down with purple rag. And this will do it. And we have a YouTube video. If you'll look up Clean Your Oven and Fly Lady, you'll find me. You won't see a picture of me, but you'll see the inside of my nasty oven. Yeah, I did you can use vinegar, but you don't want to use vinegar and baking soda at the same time. No, you don't, because they're two opposites, and they're going to fizz up. And but get the worst of it out. Take a rubber scrubber, and the more you cook in your oven, it's just going to go to pieces. Yeah, it's Liz and Matt's anniversary today. Yeah, they've been together a lot of years, since high school. So, sweep up the worst of it with your rubber scrubber and then wipe it down. And you're going to be surprised at how wonderful your oven's going to be. I usually only clean my oven like twice a year. Just before we do our holiday baking at Thanksgiving. Because I want my oven looking clean for when my sister-in-law comes. But this year I wasn't here for Thanksgiving, so I didn't do it. But our ovens are pretty clean. And I have left my pizza stone in the oven. And it cleaned my pizza stone too. So folks, that's all of our questions. And it's noon. And we've done them. I love you all. I will see you this afternoon at 3 o'clock. And we will have some lovely tea together. if you haven't tried our Wise Women's Tea, get it. And if you hadn't used one of our purple rags, they're on a BOGO right now. So you put one set in your cart and we'll send you another set. They're being used to sanitize countertops and wipe down doors and wipe down doorknobs and light switches, and everybody is taking care of their homes with purple rags. And I even had a video this week where they used the purple rag to get poison ivy oil off their skins. Rub it. And I know it was using a purple rag. I know it because I could tell. I could tell. So y'all have a great rest of the day. I'll see you at 3 o'clock for tea. Be here, and we are going to have some fun this afternoon because we're going to sit down and we're going to enjoy some quiet time together. It's really cool outside. Unless it warms up today, we're going to get a freeze this weekend. So everybody, it's Blackberry winter. I love you all. I will see you later. Let me get my magic wand. Finish.